Cruise scammers are trying to get your money. Let's get into it. Now, if you follow my account, then you know that I talk a lot about cruise scams. And a lot of these scams are happening in Facebook groups. I hate to tell you, but a lot of these scams are absolutely starting in the places where you guys are going to get your most trusted information. And look, I want to be clear. I'm not against cruise groups. I mean, I join most of the groups that are available whenever I go on a cruise for sure. But I've been around long enough and been on enough cruises where I can kind of sniff out the scammers pretty quickly now. And so in this video, I'm going to help you sniff out the scammers. Number one, beware of anyone trying to sell you anything. Some of the most classic common things that people try to sell are t-shirts. I frequently go into cruise groups and see the very same account, sometimes under different names, but if you go digging around, it's usually the same profile picture, but maybe with a different name, trying to sell shirts saying that they themselves are on the cruise. Usually they'll put a message in that says, hey guys, I'm a graphic designer. I like to make t-shirts. I'm making these cruise shirts specifically for our cruise. Does anyone want to buy one? These shirts are going to be very, very overpriced. And the sad fact is that the majority of people never even get the shirts. But a lot of people think, hey, you're going to be on the same cruise. I can trust you. No, you cannot. Because most of these people are not on your cruise. They're scammers pretending that they're going on your cruise. It's also very common for people to say, I have a special needs child who just designed this because they're looking forward to our upcoming cruise. Would you be willing to buy a shirt? I've seen comments where people have said that their child has cerebral palsy. The most common, I think, is autism. I am seriously begging you that if you want a specific designed cruise shirt that you do it yourself, please do not trust anyone trying to sell you anything in these cruise groups. Number two, excursion scams. This is definitely the second most common scam that I see in Facebook cruise groups. People will come in and say that they are tour operators, that they live in this particular location, and that they're going to give you a VIP experience because you should have a trip where you can see everything through the eyes of a local. No, a lot of these are scammers. Look, I'm not saying that all of these people are scammers. There might be one or two that are authentic, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen in the Facebook group somebody say, oh my God, that guy, Ernesto, who said he was going to give us a tour through the Mexican jungle, was a scammer. I gave him, I sent him $500-$600 on PayPal. He never showed. I'm going to tell you right now, you need to be very leery of any tour operator that's coming into your DMs. Most reputable tour operators work with a verifiable US company or a well-known company that has reviews that can be verified. I would be very, very hesitant to give my money to any local tour operator that I can't research or find out good information. And guys, you have to understand too, even going to Google isn't enough now. There are a lot of scammers who already have gone to Google. They've already spent the time and made up 100 or 200 fake reviews. I know some of you are going to say that I'm just fear mongering, but guys, scams happen and it's awful when it happens. You need to be very, very cautious. Number three, this is a new scam that I've only seen within the last year. And this is people coming in and saying, hey, I was just on the last cruise that you guys were on, so let me give you some tips. Usually these accounts will have like some generic information like, oh, it was great for the kids. The kids like the pizza. The kids like the hot dogs, stuff that could be applicable to any cruise. But then they really try to sell you on a local restaurant, like over the top restaurant. And I discovered that this was becoming a scam when I had two cruises kind of, I wouldn't say back to back, but within 3 weeks apart of each other. And the exact same account came in to one of my sailings and literally it was copy and paste for my sailing like 3 weeks later on a different cruise line. And it was 100% just trying to get people to go to that specific restaurant. And this account was just basically saying, this is the best restaurant ever, it had the best value. And then when I did a little digging and I did some research, when I noticed that it was the same person claiming to have been, on both of these cruises, when I went to look at the reviews, it was a scam. People were being told that it was a certain price. And then when they got there, it was much, much, much higher. And look, I'm not saying that you can't take the recommendations of somebody in a Facebook group. I mean, if there are multiple people saying the same thing, from very different accounts. And if you go on their account and it looks like a legit account, you might want to take that information. But guys, please just don't automatically assume that because this person is in your Facebook group that they're being authentic, that they're not trying to sell you something. You just need to be discerning. That's all I'm saying. Number 4, and this one honestly scares me more than any of the others. People saying that they have teens on a cruise themselves or are teenagers looking for other teens to hang with. Now, most of the time, this is harmless. I've legitimately seen grandparents and parents as well, just looking for somebody for their kids to maybe socialize with. But lately, I have been seeing some accounts saying, if there are some teens, come meet me here on the first day or meet my kids here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you have teenagers that want to make friends on a cruise, make sure that you meet up with the parents or these people before you even give your children's names or before you tell them anything about your teens. Last year here on TikTok, I noticed there was an account that was literally saying, hey, I'm looking for other teens like me to meet up with on the cruise. And then after some digging, finding out that this was a fully grown man. And yes, it was reported. I'm certainly not saying that you can't, talk to other parents. And if you both have teens, maybe meet each other and then introduce your teens. But please don't just assume that somebody wanting to schedule a teen meetup is being authentic. Sadly, we live in a time where you have to protect your kids. Look, I know there are going to be people that say, Mandy, it's fine. You're too paranoid. Look, guys, if you don't want to be paranoid about your money, that's fine. That's one thing. But please at least be paranoid about your kids. All I'm asking is before you agree to send your kids to meet up with some stranger off the internet, you verify for sure that the people wanting to meet up are indeed other kids. And be sure not to give out any cabin information. And really sit down with your kids and instruct them not to be giving out their cabin information either. Anyway, those are just some of the scams that I have seen recently and over the years. And if you have some scams that you want to share, please, by all means, leave them in the comments below. I hope this video was helpful. And if it saves one person from losing their money or having a really bad scammy experience, then for me, it's a win.